back to my channel. Today I have a mid-April message for all of the Tauruses out in the collective. Please note this is going to be a general reading, so it is not going to resonate with every single Taurus out in the collective. I ask that you take with you what resonates and leave the rest behind. If you are new to my channel, welcome to Eileen Into Spirit. My name is Eileen Rouse. I am a psychic intuitive, a spiritual coach, and a sound healing practitioner. So without further ado, Taurus, let's go ahead and dive right into your mid-April message. So Taurus, we are starting out with Go the Distance, Communion, and Enlightenment. Okay, so right off the bat here, Taurus, with Go the Distance, what this is really ultimately talking about is this is talking about your endurance. This is talking about the strength, the long haul. It's really about you needing to sort of push ahead, push forward, really try to push beyond. The one thing I keep getting with this Go the Distance here, Taurus, is about long-term goals. What are the long-term goals that you have set up for yourself here, Taurus? Is there something specifically that you are actually, planning? Are you actually putting forth action steps towards accomplishing something? It's really about recognizing how far you've come, right? And how far you're willing to go to accomplish the things that you are wanting to accomplish. With Communion, it's really about you building a connection with your spirit team, with your higher self, with the universe, and with nature. It's really about you understanding that you are also a part of everything that is. And it's about you making sure that you set aside time for yourself to really build a communicative bridge between the spirit world and yourself. With Enlightenment, we have look from the highest perspective and see the divine in everyone. So this is about higher learning. It's about seeing the bigger picture. It's about being the observer and sort of looking at things from a perspective that there is goodness in each and everything. This could be that maybe the message here for you, Taurus, is that if you're currently experiencing anything challenging or you're being presented with a lot of obstacles, it could be that Spirit's message for you is really about you recognizing the strength and the endurance that you have to overcome those said challenges and sort of building a time for you to actually commune with Spirit so that you could see the bigger picture. You can see the lesson behind the challenge or the obstacle, to sort of recognize that there is purpose, there is reason for why things are happening the way that they are. So let's go ahead and dive into the tarot here for you, Taurus, because this is going to give us a really good eye view on what is currently going on for you here. So we're starting off with the Nine of Cups, which is a wish fulfillment. So this sort of tells me that maybe you have been wishing for something to become finalized, to sort of be successful in your life. And I feel that maybe that isn't really what's transpiring. It could be that maybe things aren't moving fast enough for you, or maybe you're sort of feeling as if you're being manipulated or there is something going against you, that sort of thing. So I want to point out that as I'm filming this, something literally caught my eye right out my window, and it's a lizard. So I want you to really look up the spiritual meaning of a lizard. I feel that it's important. There is a message here for you, Taurus, in that. So I really want you to really pay attention to that. I do want to point out that if you have a specific wish, maybe you're waiting, okay, here's what I'm hearing. What I'm hearing is that maybe in your mind, right, like you have this thought that if something fully becomes successful, if you actually achieve something, if you get the recognition or you get recognized for something that you yourself have actually put forth a lot of effort and a lot of work into, you feel this is where your joy, your happiness is going to ultimately come from. But what I'm hearing is that that is a way for you to find recognition or find satisfaction in outside sources. The Nine of Cups is about this inner satisfaction, this inner joy, this inner wish fulfillment that comes from within. It doesn't come from the things outside of us. With the Six of Wands, it's really about understanding our own sense of self-esteem and our own sense of worthiness here. I feel that right now, the message for you here, Taurus, is that, you know, you need to understand that whatever is going on in your life right now, the things that are sort of playing out for you in your outward life are really things that are sort of pulling you. They're like tempting you to continue doing what you're doing. But what you're feeling isn't the joy, and it isn't the recognition or the happiness that you ultimately have been desiring. I want to point out that things move in the way that they are meant to with the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is our fate and it is our destiny here, Taurus. And it basically says that when the wheel is turning, you cannot turn it in the opposite direction. You cannot wheel it to bend it your will. You just have to go with the flow. And I feel that when we often have a lot of challenging times or we're faced with a lot of obstacles, we tend to sort of reflect on those things and we sort of tend to ask ourselves, is it really worth all of this? Like me putting forth all of this energy and effort into what I've been working so hard for and still feeling like it isn't exactly what it is I want. Is it worth it, right? But I feel like when we continuously feed those tempting ideas or those tempting behaviors to act in a certain way or to do things in a certain way, we sort of convince ourselves that, but I won, right? I got what I wanted, but why isn't it fulfilling me the way that I want it to fulfill me? The Five of Swords really speaks about winning at all costs. So you really have to sort of ask yourself, is everything that you are doing when it comes to this obstacle or this challenge, is it worth all of it? Are you really satisfied? Are you really happy? Is it really fulfilling you? Because ultimately here, you're needing to see the illusion. Understand that when we're faced with challenges, it's really about a test of our faith and a test of our commitment to our higher learning. It is a commitment to our willingness to overcome the challenges and see the bigger picture. But we can't do that if we don't build a communication way for us to commune with our higher self and that higher aspect of ourselves to better be able to see it from a much higher perspective. So let's dive a little bit deeper here, Taurus, because I feel like what Spirit is saying is that everything that glitters isn't always gold. And it's important for you to recognize that just because it gives you temporary satisfaction, it doesn't mean that it is ultimately where you are meant to be, right? Everything is choice in life. And that is definitely true with the devil. We have a choice. We can choose to stay in that tempting energy, or we can choose to make a different choice that is more in alignment with our higher truth, that we feel that we ultimately would get better benefits from, and it wouldn't make us feel like we're being used in any way. So now we have the Emperor, which is about this masculine energy of taking action and being the authority figure. So what this is saying here, Taurus, is that in order for you to be able to have this wish fulfillment, you have to really make a choice. You have to take action and you have to be very intentional with your action. I say that because now you have the King of Wands, and the King of Wands is this energy that is very confident in who they are, in what they do, and they're not afraid to let that show. They're also very intellectual, that they really tune in intellectually to the ideas that they get from, meditating. So it's communing with a higher aspect. okay? And I feel that this is ultimately what you're needing to do here. Now, I want to point out that I feel that you ultimately have been really working on long-term goals here, Taurus. I do feel like you have been working towards it, but I also feel like you're not really getting, it's like you're not getting what you're wanting, or there's something that still feels like it's missing. And I want to point out that it could be, you need to really look at the patterns. Really look at the patterns in your life. Is there something that you do repeatedly that gives you the same result? If so, then it's something that you're needing to break through. You're needing to change that pattern, because ultimately, if you continue to do what you've always done, you're always going to get what you've always gotten. Like it's that simple. We now have the Page of Swords, which is, you know, a very confident energy that will stand strong and face any challenge or obstacle or anything that sort of comes its way. It's also about breaking through barriers. And I do feel that this Page of Swords is really about contracts. So if this is pertaining to a relationship here, Taurus, know that this relationship, the way that it is played out, is meant to play out that way. But you're meant to actually learn the lesson at hand. You're meant to learn from this experience, from this relationship, and lead by example in this relationship. Understand that when certain relationships or certain things happen in our lives and happen a certain specific way, they're meant to truly teach us. And ultimately, what they're teaching us is to make a choice. You have the devil again here, Taurus. So again, it's about making mature choices. Are you going to choose to continue to do the same thing that has always given you the same result? Or are you going to choose a different path, a different pattern, a different behavior, and fall more into a line with what you know your spirit team is really wanting you to do, so that you can ultimately see the rewards, to reap the rewards of your actions, okay? And last but not least, we have the Six of Emotions with the Five of Swords. So the Six of Emotions is the Six of Cups. And this really speaks about, you know, nostalgia and looking back on previous, you know, lessons, mistakes, or previous relationships. It's really about, you know, thinking about that inner child, that things from the past that sort of come back up and sort of confuse us, right? Because a lot of times when we experience things and we sort of feel like, well, this feels good, it feels like something from before. But again, I really feel that ultimately here, you're really needing to make a different choice. I don't know if this is in reference to a relationship, and maybe if you're questioning a certain specific relationship in your life here, Taurus. But whatever it is, Spirit wants you to know that if you feel like you can't go on, if you feel like there's nothing else for you beyond this, what they're saying is that is not true. You have the strength and the endurance to push through. It's also about you taking time to really commune with your higher self and get that inner guidance to really provide you with the tools that you need in order to see this from a bigger perspective. All in all, you're meant to truly learn the lesson at hand and really allow that lesson to help you make a better choice. So Taurus, this is your message. I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you next time with your new message. Bye, guys.